Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy James, and this is A Dad's Thing. Welcome to vlog number 31. 31 of 50, 50 consecutive vlogs, working up to my 50th birthday. And just want to thank you all for your support on this journey. If you are a first time visitor, thanks for stopping by. Press that like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you get all of the notifications of upcoming videos. Today, I want to talk a little bit about just the craziness that's going on in the world. We are in some scary times for a lot of people. And with scary times, lots of different things can happen out of that fear. So I just wanted to come and just talk a little bit on how over the last couple of years I've had to overcome some fears of my own and really just get into action, become a participant in my community in ways that I had never been a participant in the community, to make sure I knew that I was doing everything that I could as a husband and as a father, to protect my family, but also be a positive contributor to my community so that the changes that I would hope to see could come to fruition, and have a positive impact on all those who call our city home, call our county home, call our state home, and call our world home, because that's, for me, what it's about. It's making sure that we all have a place at the table, and not just the ceremonial place at the table, but a place at the table where your voice is heard, and the things that you talk about are really considered. So for me, about 6 years ago, this was really after COVID came. There was a lot of uncertainty. We were out in the public, having to wear masks and things of that nature. And, with me being, a Black American, there's lots of things that I carry just from a cultural perspective and based off of historical context of being a Black man in America. And for me, walking around at midnight trying to go to a grocery store was something that scared me, right? Living in a predominantly white neighborhood, city, with very few African American Black people in our city, a lot of that historical stuff came to my forefront on, do I belong in this community? And then to add to that, my beautiful and loving wife is a native of the Philippines. And around this time, there was a lot of Asian hate going around, because it was the Asians who brought this virus to America. So there was a lot of things going on at that time. And a simple thing as me and my wife wanting to feed our family became a thing that terrified us. And terrified me a little bit more than her because, A, I was not going to have my wife going to do grocery during this time, masked up, getting in long lines at, 4 in the morning because the lines were so long in the dark. Wasn't having her do that. And then that's where the fear of me being out with the mask, this Black man, and, just a terrifying feeling of like, man, I'm just trying to feed my family and I have to walk around with this fear. So as we started to get a little deeper in COVID and, some time had passed. We're starting to get back into some of the normal things that we were doing prior to COVID, as far as, in the workforce. And I know some people had always had to work. I was one of those people who worked remotely. But I got involved in this community leadership program, and we were meeting in person. And I met for the first time one of the city council members of my city. Prior to that, I had lived in this city for many, many years, lived in other cities, but did not know the ins and out of local politics. It wasn't a concern who my mayor was. It wasn't a concern of who my city council members were. None of those things were really something at the forefront, because I had grown up with a very bad taste in my mouth about politics. I did not want to have anything to do with it. That had to change. So when I met one of my city council members, and it was actually the mayor, I approached her and wanted to have a conversation, introduce myself, and really wanted to know how I could get involved in our community. The meeting went well, but there was no follow-up after that. Or maybe a month later, in the same leadership program that I was taking, because we met on a monthly basis, had the opportunity to now meet one of the council members. So the former mayor, but now someone who was just on our city council. Had a conversation with this individual, and that led to, a lunch, really giving me a good understanding of how I could get involved in our city, and some entry points that I could take. And I became interested. I became involved, and I put an application in to apply for our Parks and Rec Commission. And, I said, hey, Parks and Rec, entry point, I like sports, so on and so forth. Why not? Put my name in the hat, was elected or appointed to that commission. And I served on that commission for 2 years. And it was really, really helpful for me to understand how local politics worked, how community members came to have their voices heard, how things were set into motion to have change happen. So it was a very good learning experience for me. I did not apply to be reappointed, because I was looking at that time to maybe get involved in something else. I wasn't quite sure what it was. But months prior to that, I had attended our local police department Citizen Academy. And it was like an 8-week program where we met on a weekly basis. We learned about our local PD, how they operated, what they hoped to accomplish as community servants, and how they wanted to work with the community. And law enforcement has always been something that's been very interesting to me, something that I've studied historically, keep up with current events, and can definitely have a conversation with a lot of folks about law enforcement. So it was a great opportunity to, again, get more connected to my community and the leaders of it. I can personally call the chief of police today and ask a question and get a response, like that, or get a meeting. Right. So with that, I met and I did that academy with one of our city council members. And once I stepped down off of the Parks and Rec Commission, that city council member had sent me an application to possibly get involved in a county commission. And this commission was Independent Civilian Advisory Commission to the sheriff's office. And again, it was something that really was of interest to me, because it connected service to the community, and it was associated with law enforcement, which again, I'll say is a passion of mine, to help on the side of our officers, right? To have an understanding of the community and how we view them and the work that they do, but also to help the community have a good understanding on how our local PD and sheriff office, how they operate. So being a bridge, being someone who could connect individuals to have conversations, to have difficult conversations, to be heard, but to work together. So I thought this was a great opportunity. And fortunately for me, I was appointed to that commission by my district board of supervisor. And I've been on since July 2024. I have a 4-year term. And it's again another great opportunity to be of service to my community in such an area that can be very, very volatile. And this last year on this commission has been very, very volatile with, the removal of a sheriff, something that has never happened before. So we've kind of set some precedents on how that goes. And it's also not the greatest of looks of having to, be a county to go through that situation. We've since appointed a new sheriff, and we're looking forward to working to serve the community, to provide a safe place for our community members as well, and to do it in collaboration. But I just wanted to share that backdrop of how I got involved and then different steps that I've taken to stay involved, but also move closer to things that are very important to me as far as public safety is concerned, but also to share that it came from a place of fear. And if I had let my fear overtake me as an individual, I would not be in a position that I am in today to really have some impact in a positive way for my family and for my community. And, there was a lady that was just shot and killed in Minnesota by federal agents. There were just 2 individuals that were shot and killed in Portland, at this recording, and all of this has happened within 24 hours of one another. It's scary out there. It's always been scary for me. I've shared on videos, coming up in inner cities and back in the late 70s, early 80s when I was coming up, of the word being that, the life expectancy of a young black man in America, you're lucky if you made it to 18, right? And here I am doing 50 vlogs in 50 days, working to my 50th birthday. Extremely thankful and grateful for that opportunity. But there is a responsibility to help that next generation get to where I'm at and beyond, and surpass the things that I'm doing right now, and all for the betterment for the community. So if you are looking at me right now and there is a little bit of fear in your heart about the days that we are facing, I just want to let you know I'm supporting you. I want to let you know that if I can do the things that I've done in the last 6 years, you can do it too. And it's not as hard as you may think it is. Go talk to your local city council. And I come from a smallish town, right? So I'm not in a big city like New York where there's 5 boroughs and 8 million some odd people and there's one mayor. But even in that system, there are borough presidents, right? So get an understanding of how your local government operates. Find out where you can get in to get your voice heard. find out where you can sit in on committees and commissions and things of that nature that are of interest to you so that you can have some input. You might sit in on something like I did, like Parks and Rec is a beautiful thing. It's needed. And I learned so much about potholes and parks and, the dog parks and like how all of that works. Things that I didn't know and may not have even cared about, or may have just not known how to get my needs met, right? But try something, get in somewhere, have some conversations, because you have to be the change that you want to see. We can't wait. We can't wait to be saved because there's nobody out there that's going to save us. We can collaborate, we can lead, but we can't sit back on our heels and wait for someone to come and save us and pull us out of what we're going through right now. It takes each and every one of us to play a role and to do our part so that we can be in a better place than we are today. So, with that, God bless, right? God bless you. Be good. Take care. And I'm gonna see you on the next video. But there's work to do, and we got to get our hands clean, dirty, right? Righteous, dirty. Not getting them dirty just to get them dirty, but we need to get in the mix so that we can come out on the other side better than we are today. Peace.